So I had done all the Quadra lead videos, and I figured, why don't I just knock out the poly section and the phase shifting section of the Quadra, just so you may have just a better understanding. I think these sounds are really simple. And again, I think you can do this without any kind of Quadra clone or plugin, whether they make one in the future, because it's really a simple thing. So I'll give you some technical advice. At the end of my lead video, I delved into the 80s version of the Dance on a Volcano sound. I never quite played it right. I wonder if I can... There's the keyboard. It's interesting. You can see they really did a good job because... Oh, I'm getting an echo again. Only the upper 49 keys were the poly synth section. The bass section was maybe lower. The lead section goes across 61 keys. So when you're going down in sounds like Abacab and I play bass notes, I'm only hearing... Listen to my video in isolation. You'll hear the parts where there's no poly in when I'm performing Abacab. You'll hear bass notes, and that's only the lead sound. It's not the poly sound. So here's the lowest note. That's the lowest note. So my theory on for Dance on a Volcano, was he switching between lead and poly? Well, he may have had the bass notes, the boo doo doo doo, in the lower range. Hey, maybe that was the only instance he used the bass sound. I don't think so. That was the lead. But so the jury is out. Until Tony Banks tells me what he did in the 80s for Dance on a Volcano, I'm going to just work around what I can do. So I didn't play it right. Hopefully you can see the keys in case you're curious about learning this version. I don't even have the low octave, even though I'm playing it, because that's what you do on the RMI. And then you hit the next note, bum, B flat, and that's in the lead sound. And I think that's where he does the do, 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 do on the lead sound. So I may revise how I look at that. And I broke down this poly synth sound at the end of that other video. So let's talk about some of the other poly synth things. First of all, I'm going to go into Amplitude and turn off the distortion, MXR distortion plus sound. I mean, listen to how much volume. I think when I was mixing it before, I could have balanced out the output. So don't use my settings exactly. Now I can turn the output up a little bit. Okay, so what are some of the other sounds that he does? Well, there's always, if you're doing the 80s, anything after Seconds Out and Later, have a chorus in your mixer and just run everything through it. That's what he did. I don't think he had a separate chorus. Maybe it looks like on the 77 tour, there's some pictures of his pedals, and you see a couple of these sitting around. I think in the end, and this is why I actually have a vintage Boss CE1. It's really cool. I'm a chorus junkie. I have a Leslie. I have a Roland JC20 120 amp. I have one of these. I have a Clark Technic clone of the Dimension D. I mean, my CP80 at home, I actually have the Roland JC120 underneath of it. Kind of like I have a Leslie paired with my Hammond. It's just peanut butter and jelly. So I would have this, maybe not here, maybe in your mixer, in a bus, just have chorus. Even on the Quadra leads, it could probably use a little bit and make it stereo. So let me change my envelopes here. I forget behind the lines, but that's the sound. But there's one thing missing. Throughout behind the lines, he's playing that sound. I forget what the chords are. The thing that you'll need is an expression pedal mapped to this. Can I do this with? I'm a righty and I'm using this with my mouse, left hand. So. It's really sloppy with my left-handed mouse technique, but that's how you get behind the lines. 4-foot, 8-foot polysynth, assign an expression pedal. You could do it with Aftertouch, but it's hard to control. To this, and run it through a chorus. And you've got not only the behind the line sound, but sounds done in One for the Vine, Duke's Travels. Watch my performance videos. You'll know where to do it. Anywhere else? No. Now, the pads, the formerly RMI pads for the intro to In the Cage, which had the MXR phase shifter, has the built-in phase shifter. So let's talk about phase shifting. There are notches and there are stages. I think there's like 2 notches per stage. Look it up. Do you want to learn about phase shifting more than I do? Look it up. But I know what to look for. The MXR Phase 100, according to my manual, how did I find one that came in the box with a manual? A script one from the 70s. Not a Dunlop, but an actual MXR made in Rochester. It has the manual that says, oh, this product has 10 unique stages. So that's a 10-stage phase shifter. I just looked up on a Sound on Sound article about the Quadra from years ago, and the phase shifter of the Quadra is 14 stages. So if you throw on any old phaser to get that In the Cage Duchess sound, and you're like, can't get it, make a 14-stage phase shifter. I could do this in Logic, modulation, phaser. I'm just going to choose this for fun. Look at that, 12 stages. Oh boy. No go. Now, did the Synth Magic guys, were they able to exploit Kontakt enough to make a 14-stage phase shifter? I don't know. I hope they did. They seem super cool. Here it is. Again, if you look at the comments of my videos, people tend to get most agitated by effect settings. It happens in the rehearsal room too. I change it on stage. Is my phase too slow? Is there too much resonance? What's the balance between the phase shift sound and the pure sound? So I'm not going to claim that I know any of that. I just do it by ear. I bring up 3 Sides Live and listen to Duchess and the beginning of In the Cage, and I go in here in their wonderful. Look at this GUI. I mean, it's really, those guys really did a great job. as much as I was saying, I don't find their lead section very workable. It's not their fault. It's Contact, and it's fine. But man, I couldn't ask for any more. So this is good. I will probably use this and continue to use it like I did in my videos. So it's not a this is not a definitive video on how to get the exact phase shifter, but give this a chance, mess with it, and you'll get those in the cage. I haven't played these songs in a year. Oh, you see, right? You definitely need the chorus on that because let's turn the chorus off. Besides the volume drop. Right, so yeah. That's as much as I'm going to talk about the Quadra. He never used the Omni-based string section, as far as I could tell. He used his synth strings on the Roland vocoder. Maybe I'll do that in another video. And used it for some brassy sounds. He did some brass sounds like the Mellotron. I'll talk about Mellotron in another video. But I just wanted to give you guys a little follow-up on the poly section of the Quadra and how I do it. And in my opinion, I just rather not think about it and use the Synth Magic one. But Sawtooth 4-foot, 8-foot polyphonic synth sound, a 14-stage phase shifter if you can find it, and match it into 3 Sides Live. And I think anyone can do it. Good luck.